Hi there, Shalini Mittal here from Tech Gatha, and this video we will see how to print a pattern that is a triangle format. Now to understand how to print these kind of patterns, remember in the first video we covered that always the printing happens row wise. So I want to print the first row, then I want to print the second row, then I want to print the third row, then I want to print the fourth row and then the fifth row. When I am in first row I want to print only single value. So when the outer loop is 1, inner loop runs one time. When outer loop is 2, the inner loop runs 2 times and it goes so on. So for the outer loop, the condition remains the same. We say I is equals to 1, I less than equal to 5 and I plus plus. So this doesn't changes, right? Now what changes is, if you notice, for printing, so the inner loop is always used for printing the values. Hence, the loop starting value, ending value, the conditions should be adjusted accordingly. Now if you see, I have to start printing from 1. So always the printing starts from 1 for every new row. Hence, the inner loop always starts from 1. But when I am printing first row, it starts from 1 and ends at 1. Then when I am printing second row, it starts from 1, this remains the same, but it ends at 2 and so on. That means here I have to write a condition in a way it starts from 1, executes only one time. It starts from 1 for second row, executes 2 times. So if I just write I and if I say j plus plus, you can see when I is 1, my j starts from 1, j less than equal to I means j less than equal to the value of I is 1. This loop runs only one time and what do I have to print? J. Right? So I'll say SOP, remember without a print ln, and I'll print the value of j with some space. Once I complete this inner loop, I've printed first row. I want to have a new line. So outside the inner loop, you will write SOP ln and the outer loop completes. So now for I equals to 1, this loop runs 1 times and it prints 1. For I is equals to 2, this loop starts from 1 and it goes till I, that means 2, and it runs 2 times, printing the value of j, which is j is 1 and j is 2. So this is how you print a triangle. Always remember, you have to understand inner loop is used for printing. So when the inner loop is used for printing, it is starting from where and it is ending from where. So in this case, if you would realize this ending one, right, this particular part is varying. So the ending is always the stopping condition. So then here you have to use a variable which varies. But it always starts from 1, hence this is constant. So let us see how to execute the same on BlueJ. So to print this pattern, we start the for loop. Remember the outer loop starts from 1 and it has to go till 5 for 5 rows. So I will say int I is 1, I less than equal to 5, I plus plus. And then we'll have an inner loop for columns. So I'll say for int j is equals to 1 semicolon, because the printing always starts from 1. Hence the inner loop starts from 1. It goes till I, because for the first row when I runs for the first time, the j should run only one time, printing 1. When I is 2, the j should run 2 times, printing 1 and 2. And then j plus plus. The curly braces are optional because we are just printing one single statement. So you can put or you can just omit it, and then j and done. And then we'll have system.out.println after this. So if you would see 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How about if we want to take the input from the user for the number of rows, and based on the number of rows we want to create the pattern. So I can say int rows is equals to again sc dot next int. Of course we can write SOP. So I can say system.out.println enter number of rows. Now because the number of rows are taken from the user, we want to print 5 rows. So the outer loop, instead of 5, it will be the variable rows, because this is now changing. So if I say 5, I want to print 5 rows. If I say 10, I want to print 10 rows, and so on. Rest all remains the same. The j should be less than equal to I. And let's close this. It asks for number of rows. I enter the number of rows as 7. And now it gives me 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it goes till 7. So with this we come to an end to this video. Happy learning. Take care and bye-bye.